Everybody online, looking good.
A companion podcast to the collaborative blog and gaming community that's playing as life allows. This is Multiplaying.
Well, let's start the insanity.
We have clearance, Clarence. Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Hello?
Great heavens! What kind of radio show is this?
Unfortunately, Scott Baio couldn't make it this week because he's busy washing his balls, but no worries. Tonight on the show we have Jason.
Hello.
Shannon.
Hi.
And me, Steve. Your designated driver. What are you drinking tonight, Jason?
I have a can of Coors.
Ooh, a can.
Silver Bullet.
Light. It's just original Coors.
It's the world's most refreshing can.
Wow.
I begged it over. Shannon, what are you drinking?
Okay, back up. Just
He said can specifically.
Mm-hmm.
You know, since we've been on the internet, it's been a while now, right? The internet's been around.
Yeah.
That I love that anytime you talk about anything that you drink or eat or like, there's always going to be people like, "That's fucking sucks. That's bullshit." Yeah.
No, I meant referential to the other kind of can.
Oh, that's true. Okay, I thought you were just ripping on.
No, I don't like any beer.
I know, but there's always that, those people who, like, even if you had what you thought was like the best microbrew,
some Di Serono on the rocks right in front of you, and someone said that's crap. That
there's gonna be some asshole who doesn't care for that.
Sure. No, I get it. That guy is an asshole.
Don't crap on my little cup of happy, okay?
Yeah.
I'm happy that you're happy with your Coors.
He got really defensive about his Coors.
I just like ass more than I like beer.
No, I appreciate that.
I
appreciate the world's most refreshing can.
There you go. Anyway, Shannon.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good.
What you drinking?
I have the less angry and undefensive drink, apparently. I have a Merlot, so.
Ooh.
The drink of whores. Thank you. Thank you.
The crowd goes wild. I have water again.
You working tomorrow?
No, I'm not working tomorrow, technically.
This is unacceptable.
I am
this is
hosting.
2 weeks in a row. No, F that noise.
I am
You've
hosting
done
a
this.
children's birthday party for my family.
I thought you meant the show. I was going to say, come on. You've
No.
done this before.
You didn't let me
Great when you would just wake up and entertain children while hungover.
Oh, no. It's great.
Do you
when
understand?
entertain children at any time, so.
Exactly. Do you understand the water choice?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You're going to be happy in the morning that you made this choice.
Yes. And plus, I think if I drink on the podcast, I get too tired by the end of it.
Yeah.
So, especially with the amount of shit that we have to talk about this week, I don't know if we're going to be able to talk about all this stuff.
We're probably not, because some of it's like been covered to death, and I'm already bored with hearing about it, so I don't want to talk about it. So.
All right.
That's going to go fast, because unfortunately it's been a very, very busy week of MMO gaming news, and we're not...
Like just today it's become very busy.
Yeah, well, no, there's been stuff all week, and it's just like, it's all important and stuff, but we're not a news podcast.
No.
And we can't pretend to be.
We don't have the time in the day to keep track of all the news enough to be able to speak on it.
I hear about it and I read up on it, but then like something that hits Tuesday that's big news, by Friday I'm like, yeah, old now. So I'm, it's done.
Yeah.
If you want to hear all about it, check our forums at multiplaying.net and keep up on things on a regular basis.
Because you do a good job of the stuff that we find interesting, at least. Sometimes I'll link shit, but you do a good job of linking to stories that encapsulate the news.
Yeah, feel free. Get in on that,
Yeah.
It's cool.
Sure. Yeah, get on those forums.
It's not my bag. Everyone
Go bareback, baby.
What? Stop that. What?
Refreshing. So, let's get into a couple topics, shall we? Do you want to bring up Ollie Ollie? Do we want to go from the top?
Let's go casually here with a very innocent way of getting into a topic and just Ollie Ollie, how's that going?
I really like Ollie Ollie.
I'm gonna be the whole here on this part of the show.
Yeah.
What? Okay. What? I don't have any idea of what is it, like what format is it, like is it a console or is it a PC? Is it a MMO? Is it a first-person shooter? It doesn't seem like it would be with Ollie Ollie as the name, but like what is it? What's going on?
Ollie Ollie is a PlayStation Vita exclusive, or Sony Vita, sorry.
It's not on PS3 with crossbuy?
No.
Okay.
It is a Vita-only game. As the one interview with the developer that I read, it was originally intended to be an iOS game. It was a kind of passion project for this guy that founded the studio, that like for many years now he's wanted to make a skateboarding game, a 2D skateboarding game specifically, and that's what Ollie Ollie is. Basic way that everybody references it is like 2D Tony Hawk Pro Skater, which to some degree it is, but it's
more. All know it's TNC surf design.
Yeah, exactly.
Am I the only one who ever liked that game?
I think so.
Yeah.
I played it a bunch. I like many others preferred Skate or Die.
Well, okay.
Totally different type of game.
You go back in time. Yeah, the problem is I didn't have Skate or Die.
Yeah.
You got one game like every 6 months, and my parents bought me TNC Surf Design. So
it wasn't bad. Kid down the street had it. I went to his house and played it occasionally. It was a fucking hard game.
It was very hard. But
the surfing sucked.
With the monkey surfing? Come on.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never beat that game.
Nobody did. Ollie Ollie, though, is pretty fantastic. Anyways, this guy originally was going to make it for the iOS, and I think I don't know if the interview said that he had started in iOS development with it or not, but
it would not have been good as iOS.
No.
The way
he'd even said he wanted physical buttons because of what his ideas for the game were, and either he approached Sony or vice versa, and that's how the whole Vita thing got rolling, because they were trying to push more indie titles on it, and it's worked out really good.
It's a very good game. It's weird that it's gotten me back to playing Vita, and like I've been playing a lot of Spelunky along with it, like 50-50, but so good.
It's really good. So if you do have a Vita, I highly recommend. If you like skateboarding, it's a solid game. Check it out. It's not too expensive. If you're a Plus member, it's like $10.
I think 12.
Oh, is it up
$11? I think.
Oh, okay.
It might be up now. It came out a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But totally worth it.
Yeah, still, even for the $14 or $15 full price, it's worth it. So check it out. Shannon, what you want to talk about?
I don't know. There's like 4 MMOs closing, and people care about it, but I don't. Sad to say. I know it's terrible because.
But none of us have played those. So.
Which ones were closing? I don't even.
Yeah. Well, okay. Let's calm down. Calm down. Let's announce all of them first, fanboy, and Wizardry Online's closing down, and Vanguard's closing down. Vanguard has the biggest cry out for its fans, which I can understand. That probably has an extremely loyal, small click fan base. I mean, and what's the other one?
There's
it was Clone Wars. The
yeah,
which it's not done well. Like my son loves Star Wars, and he couldn't get into it.
8 years old, and he didn't like it. So.
Yeah. And Free Realms, which has the large outcry in my house.
A charming game.
Sure.
And
no?
Yeah.
Not to me, but what I was gonna say in regards to Free Realms, they're closing it because of. I didn't read any articles on it, but I'm assuming they're closing these games because they're just not pulling in any money. They're not profitable.
Yeah, that game technically is not free to run.
Right. The only thing I kind of bums me out about Free Realms versus the other ones, that I can understand, like Wizardry or Vanguard having that clique group that enjoys those games, so they're going to be bummed out about it. But most likely those people are adults. Free Realms, I kind of foresee, I just have this vision in my head of some sub 10-year-old group of kids one day, like really not knowing that this game is going to be closing, and then suddenly trying to get on one day and they can't play anymore.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, that okay.
with
No, that happened to my kid when he tried to log into War last week. So, it's heartbreaking. You got to deal with it and tell him to move on.
Sure, you do. I mean, I
people
just
die.
yeah.
Don't buy your kid another goldfish. Just let him accept that the one died.
Yeah. Oh God. Goldfish. Anyways, that's another
When's the
podcast.
last time that you've seen them actually push free roams? Like,
Oh no, I'm not saying that. I'm just I think an adult will have an easier time with that loss than a kid, and I just see kids
I don't
playing
know,
that.
on the internet.
Yeah. Very true. So.
Yeah, but no, for what it was, I thought free roams was charming, and I haven't played it in years, but it's
Right.
kind of a bummer to see it go. But
Sure.
whatever.
I played it for a bit.
My heart goes out to people who are actively involved in these games. And
Which I don't
that's-
know anybody, so
I don't, but I would
thought
be
for what it
heartbroken, so.
what it tried to do, I think it did an okay job.
I don't. I thought it was a chaotic goddamn mess, but
Yes. That's
whatever.
what I loved about it, though. I love that you could walk into an instance and be a ninja or a nurse. I loved it.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
What other MMO can do that?
Well, Eve is crazy, but not that crazy. Do you like my segue?
Yeah, that was good. Eve is
thank you.
crazy. Eve is really crazy. I can't get into the numbers thing too much because I mean you understand the whole loss of money thing.
No, okay, we have an audience. We should explain why Eve is crazy at this
Okay.
moment in time.
Yes.
Um,
Huge battle.
of course, Eve always has these weird community battles and stuff that break all kinds of records, and it's always this flabbergasting thing to hear about from other MMOers. And I've never been able to get into Eve, and it kind of bums me out. I love everything about the community-driven chaos of it, but one thing I feel like I'm too late to the party, but the other thing is it's really not the type of community that appeals to me. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not that type of game. Like, I'm like, oh, you're dying, let me help you. Like, that's me,
Sure.
Let me give you all my stuff. I'll find more. And so that's just not my style of game. But when I hear things like this, if you haven't heard, spaceships worth more than $200,000 in real
It's over
money.
300,000.
Is it now? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm reading the article that I saw.
Sure.
I'm sorry.
Well, it was over 300,000 when I read it, and they were estimating that it could exceed over 500,000.
Yeah, they were destroyed in the biggest virtual space battle ever.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's it's just amazing. These big ships called Titans were destroyed. I mean, it's just amazing to me
Do you
that this
understand
happens.
where the money?
I love that it happens.
Do you understand where they get that figure from, though?
It's a real currency.
Well, you can buy Plex in the game, and Plex is the player life extension it's basically you can play the game, and instead of paying the sub, you can buy Plex to pay your monthly fee. So that's where they equate the real world value, and the amount of time that it takes you to research or to buy the ships themselves, research and buy the ships themselves, and then to outfit them. They calculate that time spent and what it would be to pay Plex for that time, and that's where they come up with those money figures. The Titans take such a huge amount of time that it's like a group effort to make a Titan. You have to have corporations making them, like groups of people like working towards getting one. So I mean that they're just insane amounts of time sunk into
Like
getting even one, and we're talking like tons of those things going down.
And you're talking like a whole neighborhood or city of Final Fantasy 14 A Realm Reborn mansions going down.
Right.
Like guild mansions going down.
No, and like Eve, I don't think I ever brought it up on the podcast. Like I played Eve a few times and never got into it, and then earlier in 2013, I kind of got into it again, and I joined. For the first time, I had joined a corp. I actually joined the Test Alliance. It was the Reddit corp, and learned a lot about that game. I still don't feel like I know jack shit about that game, though. Even though I spent a good couple months learning quite a bit more. And it was just a very strange experience. Like, I was really getting into the game for a while, and it was cool because, like, we were at war with another alliance. Like, we kind of pulled out of another alliance, reformed, and went to war with these dudes. And it's just crazy the amount of shit that goes on. Like, each like alliance has their own propaganda group that work on just making like images like for the war effort and shit like that. It's just this big crazy experience, and only reason I stopped playing is because when we finally started going into battles and I was trying to learn like the actual mechanics of fighting in these larger scale battles, it was such a time sink. Like, it got to this point where I simply didn't have the time to participate.
Did they give you crap when you stopped playing?
No.
Okay, that's cool.
No, I mean, other corporations might have. I wasn't as invested as so many people, though. I mean, I only put a good solid month of my time into it. I actually participated in some of the propaganda stuff, made a few things for the corporation that I was in, and they really liked it. Everybody was incredibly helpful. The crazy thing is that Eve seems to be this thing that you can't get into, like what you said, Shannon. Like, it seems like you're way too late to the party, but people in Eve, well, at least in the corporation that I was in, they really absolutely adore new people.
I think that term, or not term, but that idea gets thrown around a lot about a lot of things. But I mean, a lot of these games that are barrier to entry, if you just spend a little bit of time, you're going to find people who will welcome you into the fold and try to help you out. Well,
the thing was, it wasn't even like just one or two people that were being helpful. The entire corporation, like hundreds of people, were like just enamored with the fact that there was somebody that didn't know shit about the game.
Yeah.
They were so anxious to teach.
And I think that, like, you look at games like League of Legends, Dota 2, probably to more of an extent.
Mm-hmm.
If you just do a little bit of research, or like you did, you went onto a Reddit group and found people,
mm-hmm.
you're going to find people that want to help you learn and,
mm-hmm.
and go about it. It's just, even though, we're so used to games where you can just pop in and play super quickly, whether it's single player or multiplayer games,
mm-hmm.
that you don't really have to do any research, that even that little bit of effort, I think, sounds like a lot to people. Because like you said, you gave them a month of your time. You were starting to scratch the surface. There was so much more to learn, but
yeah.
you were feeling welcome. It's that time commitment.
Yeah, and it wasn't even the time commitment to just being on every night. That wasn't a big deal, but it was the fact that, like, the few times that we seemed to be getting into a larger scale fight, it would take an hour to get there and an hour to get even set up for the fight. And by that time, I'm like, well, I got a log. I can't invest that. So, and like, there's other things in the game that you can invest less time and get a lot out of. Like, I'm sure you can. There's other things that you can research or come up with for the corporations that will make it fit for you. But what I was really wanting to get into was the combat and trying to see that side of it. But it just got to be this thing that I couldn't invest the time into. So I quickly got bored with it.
We're multiplaying. Yes, I think that's kind of the problem.
Yeah, true.
If you only committed time to one game, you'd be all in that.
Yeah, and those people that played that would play a few other, like, shooters or whatever, but Eve was their game.
Yeah.
But
I remember we met those dudes down in Florida.
Oh yeah, totally. It was a crazy experience because, like, we do like our group runs and stuff, and we've had experiences where our guild's been like 30 or 40 people strong. But it's crazy getting on a Mumble chat and there being 600 or 700 people on Mumble.
Yeah.
And all, like, broken down into groups and, like, talking amongst, like, squad. Like, it's down to, like, being in, like, shoved into a squad.
Did you get to
like
a point
20
where
people.
you felt when you were broken down into a squad, you knew what the hell you were doing?
I was starting to get there a little bit because, how should I say it? One of the biggest things that you learn early on is just how to follow people through space. Like if you're in a larger organization like that, it's just the ability to keep on your toes enough to properly follow warp to warp. But then
Okay.
again, that gets kind of boring after a while if nothing actually happens. Because there was a couple nights where I went out to look for fights, and we flew around for a good half hour, 45 minutes, and then went back to the base, and that was it.
Yeah, so you got to be okay with that.
Yeah, you have to be okay with just being able to fly around and
See,
patrol.
I totally respect that, but
Mhm.
if I had to think about myself actually going through that day after day, week after week, I don't know if I could do it.
No, and that's what I kind of got to after a few weeks of it. But I mean, it was a crazy
Eve
experience.
is crazy.
It is. It's crazy. There was someone in real life in the Alliance. There was someone in real life that had passed away, and they actually had an in-game funeral for this person, where all it was all these people from the Alliance got to one place in space and sat in voice chat and just exchanged stories about this person.
So like some random far off place.
Yeah. Well, and the crazy thing is that there was another corporation that knew that it was happening, so they came and attacked the funeral.
Oh, that's crappy.
It is.
God, that sounds like I want to be part of that community because that
No,
sounds like.
That's terrible. Like,
Well, that
remember
sounds
in
like something that
DOC
would have happened in DOC back in the early days.
Stop. In DOC, they actually did have a funeral for a very, very devoted player, and on a they all came together. They all came together and met and had a funeral for her.
Yeah, but I think you're dealing with Eve where it's not broken up by
Actually,
servers. It's all these people, and you're gonna expect someone to come break it up at some point, but you're still gonna take a step back and look. All these people came to pay respect to this person. At some point, someone's gonna come fuck it up because people are people. But
Yeah.
that doesn't take away from the fact that all these people showed up to respect the
you know
memory
what?
of this person.
But all these people showed up to do the memory to celebrate the memory of this person, but that person also loved Eve. And
Yeah.
what did they love about Eve?
That's true.
That is kind of like, a kind of a good ending when you think about
That's
Sure.
well,
a fitting
that's the game
tribute to what
going
they
on.
appreciated. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. There we go. We saved it. Let's move on.
So yeah, Eve is fucking
It's
crazy.
getting evil. Or I mean, it's getting all dark now.
So what's next on the agenda? Let's move on to another happy topic.
Another happy topic about Funcom getting raided. I don't know.
Get your shovels, everybody. We're digging deep.
Yeah. Actually, there's not much known about it unless more's come out since the original reports. But
And I haven't looked today. I was stuck in the house cleaning.
it's a non-story right now. I mean, it's kind of like they're under investigation. Funcom stock ceased trading on their exchange, the Oslo Stock Exchange, back on January 29th. It's like a whole Norwegian thing that happened. But
It was a very Norwegian thing that happened.
yeah, the Funcom's been charged with breaching the Securities Trading Act regarding information disclosed to the market about its MMO project at the time, The Secret World. And it's for the time period before and just after launch. It's not for right now, which is the weird thing. Like, they invaded them now and took out several boxes of information, but it's the period in which the alleged false or misleading disclosures were from August 2011 to just a couple months after its launch. It launched in July of 2012. And it's really disappointing because it seems like they just went free to play, or not free to play. I'm sorry, you pay for the initial box sale, but
Yeah, right.
there's no sub.
Mhm.
And it really seemed like a lot of people that we know, especially on Twitter, are doing like weekly gaming sessions, and the guilds are doing really good, and like people really love it. And I even like I have zero interest in the style of game that the Secret World is, like in terms of like I don't want to live in a world of perpetual zombies. So it's like really
Right.
It's always kind of weird because I remember you talking about years ago that your ideal MMO would be that type of.
No, I wanted something. Well, we'll get into that in one second. Let's finish this up, like, because that'll tangent off a bit.
Okay.
But I went into it, and even though it's not the style of the gameplay isn't like for me, but it is the actual classes and the actual gameplay, like how the mechanics work and stuff, and the look of the game is really, really cool. And maybe I just didn't give it enough time, but anyway, it I kind of bailed on it after a while. But I'm amazed I even gave it a shot because I had zero interest in it ever before. But yeah, it has a lot of great things, and I see where people are into it, and it's just kind of sad because I know a lot of people who are into it and are really loving it. And
It's
I don't know what
still
this
up though, right?
means. Yeah, well, it really right now, like, hopefully this is just some bad press, and nothing
some-
happens. Yeah, like I mean,
Checking the books.
yeah.
Well, unfortunately, this could be something that's completely not the development team and management
Yeah.
who.
There's a lot of great people working on this that have their hearts into it, and it's it's a little. And I
Yeah,
don't know
the game designers are not necessarily the ones making the financial decisions.
Sure.
and they're also the same company. I don't know if you know, but they do Age of Conan, and they're also developing
Anarchy
Lego
Online.
minifigures online, which is in development. And they have quite a few other licenses so going on. But yeah,
I don't know about the Lego thing. Lego MMOs can't catch a break.
right. Anyway.
Anyways,
My thing with the genre, like, years and years ago, what I wanted was, okay, this is when I was really into DAOC. Not, that I've gotten over it, but my idea was I wanted, like, that type of world, but in the horror setting, but in a weird horror, not like, I don't know, like, this one kind of gets a little more political, it seems, but maybe it's cooler that way, I don't know. But I'm more of a Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan, so I like goofy horror. So I was thinking like you'd be like humans or slayers versus like, and then there'd be werewolves on one side and then vampires on another side. And what you got bit by though, like, I mean, it's like you could switch sides. Like that was my idea. Like if you were a human and you got bit, then but the others, like your human people would have like shamans and stuff that could change you back. Like you could fight for your people. Like, I don't know, that was my whole idea. Like to have it more of a three-sided war, but you could, like, if you actually did want to switch sides, you could just like go and, offer yourself up to the enemies or whatever. But they don't have to convert you. They can just kill you and slaughter you. You know what I mean? Make it a big thing. Anyway, that's a little different than what the Secret World has going on. They're doing like this whole like actual lore type of thing. So
they want to
the
put story in
Illuminati,
it.
the Templars, yeah, they're doing this really cool thing instead of the stupid jokey thing that I would think of. But anyway, moving on.
Moving on. But first, before more topics,
Oh yeah.
let's have an ad.
Okay. It's a break for our.
That'll be great because I have to go pee.
This episode of the Multiplaying podcast is sponsored in part by Madden NFL 25 Super Bowl winners, the Denver Broncos.
What?
Congrats. Jesus Christ. Congrats to Peyton Manning's artificial intelligence and the rest of the virtual Broncos organization who tended to Peyton's pixelated jockstrap throughout the simulated season. May the extra polygons used to create Peyton's enormous rendered forehead live on in the halls of Internet Valhalla for eternity.
I
Show's
reject
over?
those supporter funds.
I say we give the money back to the Broncos because that's all incorrect.
That is.
Okay.
I do not like any of this.
Sorry, Madden NFL does not lie.
I think Patrick Stewart would argue with this.
Yeah, he was holding a soccer ball. What do you know? What does he know? I mean,
What was he wearing though?
he was wearing a blue jersey of some
I'm gonna
sort.
beat myself a victory. What?
God damn it. Fucking worst. Talk about me being old man slurms. What's up, dad jokes?
Done.
So
Slurms. Steve, I'm sorry, Steve. We don't use the audience. He's Slurms and he's Steve. He's Slurmy Steves.
sleazy what?
Sleazy
Sweat-
Slurms,
sweaty
Stevie, Sleevy. Yeah.
But
It's Indiana, Steve, and Slurms. That's what
But
you got.
should whoever you want to call me, should I be watching Arrow?
That is up for debate. And
Okay.
my
think-
side is yeah. I love Arrow. The first season, I will admit, got off to kind of a shaky start. You know, it took some investment. Which I don't really normally agree with. I think if the show's good, the show's good. If it's not good, like, don't make me like.
Yeah, don't tell me I gotta
Don't
watch 10
convince me.
episodes before
Yeah,
it's good.
well, I feel that same way about MMOs. No.
or any
don't-
video game.
Yeah, like, yeah, exactly. Like, don't. Okay, I gotta play for a week before I have fun. Like, no. This is an entertainment industry that I am participating in. But it did have a little bit of a rough start. We kind of stuck with it simply because at the time
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't bad. Like, there was enough charm to it where it was like, all right. And then it was also a really nice thing. Our son was really into Arrow and stuff at the time. Actually, now he's not into the show, and we are. But the second season, like, really took off. So good. I mean, start at second season.
Second season has been pretty amazing.
Yeah. There's, this whole shipping on top of it, between, his assistant and him. And
yeah, but that
I
doesn't
love
sell
that.
people.
I
We
like
don't.
it. I
No, I'm saying, but that
enjoying
doesn't
that.
sell people. I think we're all friends with Jay, aka Bear, in Multiplaying, who's a very big DC Comics fan.
Okay.
And he was telling me that the biggest issue he had with season 1 was Arrow, Oliver Queen. They set him up initially to be a killer, where
he's slaughtering people left
Yeah.
and right.
Really?
which he obviously does not like because he's a fan of the character in the comics, and he's very much against that. And what I appreciate after watching the first season, and then there are consequences at the end of the first season that carry over into the second one, where you really see character development, where the character goes against that. And I felt that was a very good way of dealing with the actual human. And the show is still very much a soap opera. There's still some overacting and all that, but they do a very good job of consequences of his actions, and that leading into what you would see from, or what you expect from, the comic book character of Green Arrow. And I think they've done a great job with that. And this season, particularly with season 2, they've done a great job of introducing and expanding the DC universe. They first set up with comic book characters who are based in reality, and now they're doing a very good job of expanding that. And I could totally see them carrying this over into the Batman Superman movie that's coming out now in 2016. But I really, really like it.
Okay.
really like
Did they introduced him through Smallville, didn't they?
No, that's completely different.
That's a totally
Okay.
different actor. Actually, I the hard part I had was I really enjoyed Smallville, and I really loved the actor that played Oliver Queen in that series. And I
Okay.
had a hard time liking this guy because that guy was like way more just carefree, and he
A
played
lot of charisma.
Yeah, so much
Which
charisma.
that's Oliver Queen.
Yeah, and this guy has a hard time getting into that. He has a hard time. He comes back from the island, and he has a really hard time, like, picking up where he left off and convincing, like, the world that's where. But you would, like, you know what I mean? Like, if you think of it as a developing character and not just as a, like, this is the role he's supposed to play.
Right.
Because now when you see him in a party mode versus the regular mode, he does much better. I think though, even in the pilot, he did pretty good at the.
Yeah, but I mean, like a
He went
lot
to
of
a
shows,
party
it
and
got better.
Yeah, like they do. He as a character has evolved to where he's better at playing those two roles.
Okay, so my question is going to be, since I actually never watched Smallville.
Did you not like it, or did you never bother?
Just never bothered.
Oh, okay.
This is a
just
completely
never-
different show, though.
I just always saw it and kind of went meh. I've never
It's-
been like totally upfront. I've never been a big DC fan. When I was a kid, when I bought comics, I bought like X-Men and Wolverine. That was my shit. And like later on, as I started looking at DC, like Green Arrow was one of the comics I did start buying, but I only ever bought like maybe a dozen of them. So of the DC characters, I do like him, but yeah, I never watched Smallville. But so since I didn't watch Smallville, there's absolutely no problem for me to jump into Arrow.
No, it's not the same continuation at all, and it's not as teeny bopper. I would say.
No, and
You know what I
That's
mean?
I think that's what kind of put me off from watching Smallville. All the previews kind of seem that way.
Well, because
they
that was
cram
Superman.
so many things into that.
Yeah.
Well, but that was Superman in high school. That was the whole
Right.
point of Smallville.
Right.
This is Oliver Queen coming back from the island. They do a
Grown ass adults.
bunch. They do a bunch of flashbacks to the island, which I love because it almost always pertains to the developing story, like how the island has affected him. It's not like this backstory, like he was on an island, now he's good at shooting arrows. No, it has completely developed him as a human being from what he used to be.
And I think the biggest selling point to you from what you've described, we're now near 2 seasons done. The biggest two DC characters that they have been developing are Green Arrow and Deathstroke, and they have done an amazing job with Deathstroke and set him up to where it's going to be a ton of fun to watch if you go forward. And from what you're saying, I think you would totally dig it.
I'm trying to remember. Deathstroke, wasn't he like a cyborg?
No, he's a human who gets in. It's kind of like the equivalent of Captain America if Captain America became a total douchebag.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay, who
He
the
gets
hell am I
injected with the
thinking of?
serum, and he becomes it makes your body go crazy with super strength and speed and everything, but it also makes your mind can't handle it.
Man,
But anyway,
what
so
comic
check
book
out
character am I thinking
Arrow.
of? Okay, never mind. I'm thinking of
Are you thinking of Shock.0?
no.
He might be. I think he was thinking of Shock.0.
He's pretty good.
Wait, what is Shock.0?
Oh, he's my DCUO character, where he's a robot with electric powers.
And you play him on the PlayStation, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And you play that every Thursday?
Yep.
And you're looking for friends to join you in your guild called...
Okay, what do we call it?
Toxic Shockers.
Oh, Toxic Shockers, yeah.
That's terrible.
What? No, what?
It's just
And-
mixing the two.
Oh, yeah. The
It's
Toxic
just
Avengers
mixing Toxic Avengers and the
and-
movie The Shocker.
And the...
Sure.
It's not Toxic
Wes
Shock.
Craven's
No.
Shocker.
Nothing to do with Toxic Shocks.
The guy that got electrocuted
Right.
and then was in
And
the TVs.
So if you have a PlayStation 3
Wes-
or 4, right? Both can join.
Yeah,
Right.
Wes Craven.
And you play,
Shock.0.
DCUO. You can join up with that group on Thursdays. They play every Thursday at 9 p.m. for sure. But,
Mhm.
throughout the week, they probably work on characters once in a while.
I
So,
might.
Sure.
I don't know. Well, join the forums and find out what's what. I don't know. I can't do more than that.
I think what are your Shock.0 is now what level?
I just got him to 10 yesterday.
Okay, and I think my Polar Vortex is up to like 18 or something like that.
Yeah, I need to level him up because I like him a lot more than the guy I think I had at like 16 or so. So
That's
I'm going to
cool.
work this week on leveling him up.
And I didn't play last night because I think we kind of switched roles. You were leveling him up, and I was leveling up my Neverwinter character so that I could participate more with the guild group. What night's the Neverwinter group?
Neverwinter, we play on the... Well,
Wednesday?
actually, I don't think there are servers anymore, but originally when Neverwinter launched, there were servers, and we're on the Dragon server. So if it's still an issue, I don't actually think it is, though, but...
I think they only ever launched with the one server.
I think so too. But if you download Neverwinter, because it's a free to play game, so there's no, go ahead, try it out. Download it. If they ask you for a server, pick Dragon, and we are called Trust. And join the forums on multiplaying.net and give us a heads up that you want to join, and that'll be easier for me to get a hold of you or someone else, because we have a few players active in it regularly. It's not something we're super like get into it thinking like I'm solo playing, but then there's bonus grouping every once in a while because it is a total casual like whenever game, because it is free to play. We're not totally devoted to it, but we go through spurts. And I'm enjoying the PvP. I'll let you talk about that in a second, Slurm.
Sure.
And we play every Wednesday night. We try to do something as a group, but we're having trouble at the moment finding something we can all do at our diverse amount of levels. So like this week we played a dungeon, Cragmire Crypt, and
I think so.
it's like level 21 to 25, and Slurms, if you go manually to the entrance of the dungeon, you can go in at any level with any number of people. So we walked a few people to the front door, and like Slurms, you were level 6.
Yeah.
But I was like level 30. So he didn't get any experience.
I got a little bit.
But it's not about maximizing your experience. The whole point of the weekly group is to hang out together, just to be silly. We get in team speak. We're chatting.
We like being dumb.
Yeah, I yell at everybody. It's awesome.
We might not be so diverse anymore, though.
What do you mean?
Are
you leveling up a bit?
I'm almost 15.
Good job.
Ooh.
That's well, no, that's really good.
Yeah, I was just 6 2 nights ago.
He was. That game, it has a point though where it switches from easy to okay, it's a serious game.
Yeah, it doesn't fuck around too much.
Yeah.
And I really like, once you hit 10, which I think is funny that we were just talking about, like, don't make me play to a certain point, it would not be enjoyable. But I didn't really enjoy it as much before I hit 10. Like, now that I hit 10, and I'm like looking forward to when I can get my companion, and I'm like actually enjoying the game quite a bit more.
See, now maybe it's because I had a starter pack when the game, like one of, I don't know, they sold them, they probably still sell them.
Like a founder's pack or something.
Kinda, yeah. And because my whole justification was, well, I spend, $50 on an MMO when it comes out anyway, $60 on MMO. So
sure.
If I like it, but the thing is with that one pack I got, I've gotten my use out of it, because on every character I make, like I just made they just came out with the archers. Or Rangers.
Ranger, yeah.
Rangers, it's the same.
No, it's not.
So I get a horse right away. I can't use it till level 20, but I mean,
that
it's
sucks.
there.
I want to be able to run around faster.
Yeah.
That sucks.
And I get a dire wolf, which levels to 30, which is a great companion, and you get that right away. Like that one, you don't have to wait for. You just boom, you have a companion at any point.
Sucks.
At that point they had a bonus when they sold it. We got like 500,000 astral diamonds with it.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know what to do with this shit.
The crazy thing is I've never used one of them.
Wow.
Like I don't play the market, so they're just on my. I finally put them on my character. They were just in the bank for a while.
Don't tell people you're gonna get robbed.
And then there's all the you get a weapon that's like a blue, like I got a blue bow for my ranger, and she just now, I think it was like level 26 when she finally got something better. So
wow.
Yeah, and it was at first, I mean,
I hate it when I get blue bows.
You talk about like level 10, like that went by so quick for me, because with that bow, I'm one shot in whole rooms of things with that. That multiple shot ability you have on your right click.
I don't play that class.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's this multiple shot ability you have for your right click, and it shoots like multiple arrows out at once. I'm just clearing rooms before I walk in. I'm like,
man, speaking of badass abilities, though, when I was playing PvP, which we can segue into that, when I was playing the little PvP match, I don't know what class it was, but somebody on the opposite team had the fucking coolest ability, and I almost wanted to switch classes to find out what the hell it was, or figure out what it was and then switch classes to it. It was like the person just jumps up in the air and
rogue.
disappears. Huh?
It's a rogue, trickster rogue.
No.
No?
Maybe not. This huge red, like bullseye, basically covers the ground, this gigantic area, and slowly works its way into like a small circle. And wherever that small circle is, by the time the person lands, that's where they strike and do the most damage.
It's probably still a rogue.
It might be,
think
but
it's
this.
a
I think it was armored though, so it was probably either a guardian or a great weapon fighter. Because the fucker just jumped in the air, and it reminded me of the dragoon class from the Final
Could
Fantasy
be,
series.
yeah, it could be a great weapon. I don't know. My great weapon fighter's only level
It might
4.
be that class from Final Fantasy. Just
It's probably-
fucking it
Shut
up.
up.
There's Square Enix was like, screw, we're putting a class in your
Yeah.
game.
That class is really good.
It's
is-
so
it
good it
is.
jumped from one game to the other.
I got mine pretty high up in Final Fantasy.
Dragon's
But anyway,
pretty badass.
yeah, I was loving PvP. I went out there and in the lobby bracket, because they bracket off the PvP,
Mhm.
and in the lobby bracket, I went the long way around, because if you go the long way around, you get to go to the upper levels,
Yeah.
on both maps, and just jumped down to a pillar, and I'm just like pelting people off, and I think it's because it's the lobby level. No one was paying attention. Like, no one ever came to get me.
Nice.
No, yeah, and I'm just like, okay.
I was standing here
This
killing
is just heaven, because I just had to protect I was above the center,
Capture
area. Yeah, capture point. And
Point 2.
yeah, and so, I let my team sometimes, I admit the team's off doing their own thing. At one point though, my team, on one of the PvP battles I had, we had all 3 things, because
Yeah.
it was amazing, because I just had to sit there and rain down arrows, and they
Yeah,
couldn't get
because
to it.
because those are pugs, they can tend to be pretty one-sided. The one match I had was not. It was actually, we were losing for the first couple minutes, or 3 or 4 minutes of the game. We only had 1 point. But then a couple of us went around the long way that you were referring to, captured their back point, and then our whole team was able to work their way forward, and then end up getting all 3 points, and then we came from behind and won.
I do think
Good
they need
shit.
to, put a new map out. They've got 2 maps, which is, but I don't want to bang on that too much, because there's quite a few just regular games where people will play the same maps over and over and over again. It's not a big deal. So, but that kind of I am looking forward to the time when we're kind of closer in levels where we have a pre-run PvP team going in.
That'd be cool.
'Cause, yeah.
Wouldn't it be amazing? And I know it's totally not practical, but get to a point where this game you could make a Foundry PvP type mission, throw it up there,
That would be cool.
and I'm that's so easy to say, and I'm sure it's a pain in the ass to do, but
If you could do a map design for them.
yeah, just something random, and you throw it out, and it's up there for both people to go in and mess with. They're all at the same footing. I don't know.
I would like you to read or repeat what you said about the PvP, though, because I don't know if people remember, but Slurms writes for the Order. He's a huge.
I haven't in a long time.
Oh, you haven't? I'm sorry.
No, I haven't.
You're a
done that in while.
huge Guild Wars 2 fan. Are you, that's a great game. I'm not.
Oh no,
Obviously, I spent my share of time in it, too, so.
I'm still a massive fan of it.
I know. But what did you say about the Neverwinter PvP?
I need to go back and play some Guild Wars structured PvP, and then some more Neverwinter PvP, because granted I've only played 2 matches in Neverwinter, and I only ever played a couple dozen matches in structured PvP in Guild Wars, but right off the bat, even in a pug group in Neverwinter, the PvP was really solid, really good, really solid. Everything felt good. The combat is, in a way, and it feels very frenetic. That it just, everything felt very solid about it, and it almost felt slightly more tactful than.
Oh, yeah, the dodging and just setting up again?
Yeah, well,
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
there's dodging in Guild Wars 2 as well, but just Guild Wars 2 is, I don't know if it's because of the higher pace, and I know that they've, since day one, have been wanting their structured PvP to be an esport game. They have had it at MLG tournaments and such, but I don't know if it's because of that, and that's why it's faster. It's to make it more of an esport, but it's always just seemed like a fucking mess. Like anytime I've ever played structured PvP in Guild Wars, I've always like wanted to like it, and I've never really liked it. But like right away in Neverwinter, the very first match that I played, and maybe it was just a lucky, good, solid, balanced match from a pug group, but even just the first match I played, I enjoyed myself. I really enjoyed it, and I wanted to do it again. And I never really got that from Guild Wars.
I had the same experience.
I probably can't explain it, but I think that there is more of a... I could compare Neverwinter more in the tangible aspect to something like TF2 than I could Guild Wars 2.
Sure.
And I don't know how I could actually describe that, but it just...
Is it part of the control sequence? Like,
yeah, it's just
with the mouse and...
I think it feels more responsive, and I think in Guild Wars you're dealing more with a wide set of mechanics, where in something like Team Fortress 2 and to a lesser degree Neverwinter, you're dealing with a little bit more of a refined set of a specific mechanics. I don't know.
Also, in Neverwinter, you know what role you're playing. You know what everyone else's role. You see your group, you know what they're spec'd as, because you know what the cleric's doing. You know what the guard,
Well, to some degree, because like as a guardian,
have that, but I mean, without there's minute differences, but in terms of comparing it to Guild Wars 2, where you can spec,
sure,
quite wildly.
Yeah, a necromancer can be three different things.
There is more of a holy trinity in Neverwinter because of its focus on D&D roles. You know what your group's going to do.
Right there, you just said it though. Maybe it's because of the inclusion of the Holy Trinity, which Guild Wars 2 doesn't have. Guild Wars 2 is...
that's the one flaw of Guild Wars 2.
Yeah, Guild Wars 2 is combat, offense, with some minor healing, but the healing's not really the big factor in the game. Whereas in Neverwinter, you have to be concerned with who's the healer.
Yeah, but I will say, as playing, I started leveling a control wizard in Neverwinter, and I switched to a cleric, and I did lots of PvP with my control wizard, and I've tried this past week with my cleric. It sucks playing a healer in Neverwinter in PvP because no one protects you. It's not set up to where you have like major, instas where you can pop off and try to protect people. That's where
I think you need a group.
Yeah.
And I only did pugs, but I end up like control wizard. I was tearing people up, and I almost felt overpowered.
Yeah, I was about to say the second match that I played today had a control wizard on the opposite side, and those guys are fuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I felt bad playing one. Like, okay, but I tried playing a wizard, a cleric this past week, and it ended up me like at the end of the match. Both times it was me. Everyone else had quit, and I was losing, and I was up by the spawn area, just trying to go out and do what I could, and I couldn't do anything against. It was Rogue and everyone else just tearing me up, and that is probably bad groups, but I don't know.
I will say when I did my PvP as a ranger, I'm just shooting anyone who's near our target goal. Because I'm not a tank. I'm not covering the cleric. Like, that wasn't my role. Like, I'm trying to play you know what I mean? I'm going back to basics. My job is to deal damage to anyone who gets near our objective. And so I wasn't covering the cleric or whatever. I kind of felt like that it was the cleric's duty to, like, stick with a tank or something at that point. You know what I mean? Like, you should be with that person so they can cover you, but my job is to be up high and shoot everyone who gets near anyone on my team or my objective.
But yeah, I need to play it some more, and maybe it'll fall apart for me, and maybe I just had a good couple matches, but we'll see. But let's move on.
Okay.
What do we want to talk about before we head out?
Well, Jason had me take a break this evening after dinner, and we watched a trailer. What was it called, Jay?
Million Ways to Die in the West.
Did you watch the Red Band trailer?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Okay, wait. What is a Red Band trailer?
That's a trailer that doesn't have any, like, like rating to it. Like they don't hold back anything in the trailer. They can show like blood, nudity, whatever.
Yeah, it's not rated by like the MRPA or whatever it's called.
So how do you see one of those?
You just
Online.
look it up. Just go on YouTube, and if you want to look at a red band of a certain trailer, you type in red band of whatever movie trailer, and then usually one will pop up if it's available.
Okay.
It's not like you have to download it illegally or anything. It's just it's saying that hey, if you're watching a red band trailer, there's no rating on it.
You could see dick
You're
and
not,
ass. And
yeah,
all that.
you're not going to see a
Alright.
red band trailer before another movie in a theater.
I can see it before like Frozen.
A Million Ways to Die in the West. You're gonna see that before Frozen?
No, you're not gonna.
Oh, you're not.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you are going to. I was like, I'll have you know I
So-
saw Frozen, sir. I did not see that trailer.
So Jay, you should talk.
Oh yeah, so I really liked it, and I know a lot of people. It's kind of the hipster thing to say that Family Guy, which I like American Dad a lot more than Family Guy,
Sure.
but they're all Seth MacFarlane shows. You know, he sucks and all that, but goddamn, that trailer was hilarious to me.
I don't think he sucks.
No,
There's
but
a lot of hipsters that hate or
Well,
you know,
it's
or
cool.
anything that's popular.
Which they
It's
should-
dreadful, so you hate it.
which they shouldn't hate on him because he's bringing back Cosmos for Christ's sake. So
Yeah, oh god, I can't wait for that.
yep.
And
What?
but I'm not looking forward to Neil deGrasse Tyson just talking super creepy.
I don't know what you're talking
'Cause he
about.
talks
again.
super
Stop.
creepy.
Plus, he's bringing back what?
Cosmos.
The old
There's a
show
Carl
by Carl
Sagan,
Sagan.
show. Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking
Seth
Never mind.
MacFarlane is very big into
Now we're gonna sound like hipsters because she doesn't know about it.
yeah.
No, just tell me
Oh.
what it. No,
It's before you.
I'm trying to play the whole so that the audience knows what we're talking about.
Oh, okay.
It's a reboot about space and the stars, and it's going to be on Fox, so it's kind of a big deal because I don't remember the last time a show like that has been on one of the major 4 broadcast networks.
That's a good point. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Okay. Well, A Million Ways to Die in the West. He drug me away from the EverQuest Next Landmark live event on the
Wow.
internet tonight.
Is that important?
He's like, let's watch that. Like, because after we record this, I'm going to be involved. And so, for the rest of the night. So he's like, come watch this. And I was bitter about having to leave. Admittedly, a chat that was just going, I mean, it was nice and fun and lighthearted, but I mean, it wasn't productive. Like, I didn't get, like, anything out of it. They were,
Right.
if you missed it, they were doing some codes that could give you some cool things you could plug into your account for like
Sure.
grappling hooks and stuff for Landmark. But anyway, I didn't get any. So anyway, he and even though I didn't want to be there, it was hilarious. I was laughing my butt off, and I liken it to like Blazing Saddles of now.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. That's a good point.
I mean, it's not probably going to be as racist, but maybe you never know with Seth MacFarlane.
You tried if you haven't watched Blazing Saddles in a while, go watch it. Oh my god.
As a kid, I thought it was a hilarious movie, and I watch it now, and I'm like, I can't let my child watch this.
No,
Oh my
like
God.
Spaceballs. Even Spaceballs, I look at now and go, man, when did I watch this?
Yeah.
When I was a kid.
We did that too.
Yeah.
We let our son watch it, but there were multiple times where we kind of like, "Hey Matt, what's over there?" and just
Well,
kind of
yeah, it's like, so what happened in school with so and so? Like we're talking over everything, and he gets all interested. He's like, my parents care, you know.
All right, now shut up. Back to the movie.
Okay. But yeah, because we totally misjudged it because we're thinking like, yeah, I was younger than him when I saw it. And, just like, yeah, me too. And we put it on and we're like, oh, I forgot about this part. Oh, I forgot about this part. But anyway,
So you like the trailer?
I thought it was good. And I'm very
Yeah.
excited to see the movie. Yay.
Does
I
look really
thought
good.
the trailer was really good.
When does it release?
This summer, I'm not sure.
We should do a tailgate for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you
All right.
not like it, Steve?
Oh no, I thought it looked hilarious.
For
I have
those
nothing.
that
I have
don't
nothing
know-
to add. I would just say go
Yeah.
go look at the trailer.
For those that don't know, we actually have a group of friends that will tailgate movies, and we'll set like a card table out in the parking lot and have coolers and chairs and drinks and snacks, and we'll tailgate a movie. But it's cool. It's not sad.
They've not been kicked out from the parking lot yet.
Never.
No, we had a cop come by one time and say, "That's awesome."
Yeah. And we'll do like the weirdest movies, like I don't
Frozen.
know. No, we didn't do Frozen, but we've done some weird ones. And yeah, the cop came by and he goes, "Are you guys tailgating Green Lantern?" We're like, "Yeah." He goes, "That is awesome." Yeah, and he took off. I mean, part of it is because we're all adults and we have no minors with us at all, of course.
Right.
So it's not a big deal. But
I wouldn't take a minor to Green Lantern anyways.
Yeah, I think he was just more depressed for us to watch that movie.
Funny side note about Green Lantern. My wife bought me that movie.
On purpose?
Why is she mad at you?
No, I wanted it. I had not seen it in the theater. I wanted it, and because I was like, shit, yeah, Green Lantern.
Well, no, yeah, because that should be good.
Well,
she bought it.
It's like in our defense. Like we thought it, Lantern.
She bought it for me to watch while I was recovering from getting all my wisdom teeth pulled.
No, so you just...
So making shit worse.
Yeah. The
painkillers
painkillers weren't enough.
I think the painkillers might have made it a little bit better.
Yeah, that movie's borderline, like, okay, if you're in the right mood, you could find some enjoyment, but it's not where you could ever, like, look back on it fondly.
Sure. I watched that and then played Dark Souls the rest of the day.
Yeah.
While I had ice wrapped around my head.
You had a good end of the day then.
Yeah. But anyways, are we done for the night? Are we done here?
Yeah.
Do we want to go quiz time?
It's time for the quiz, huh?
Is there a quiz?
There's a quiz. There's always a quiz.
I'm going to try something.
Okay.
This might be horrible.
I don't like this quiz, by the way.
Why not?
Go ahead.
All right. This is in the jungle. Okay, this is the quiz show where I read Amazon reviews from a product until you guys figure out what it is.
Oh, I love this idea.
But it's gonna be awful.
It might be horrible.
Okay.
I have picked a product on Amazon, and it has a decent amount of reviews, not a ton, but I get to start reading, and I'm going to try to not say anything in the person's review that would explain too much what it is.
Okay.
So let's start.
Okay.
First one was a 3-star.
It's a milk.
The 3-star review titled "We're Okay."
It's a treadmill.
Wait, what? What? What did it say?
The title of the review was "We're Okay."
We're okay.
It's a treadmill.
They worked okay for the Mardi Gras stage production that we ordered them for.
It's socks. Is it socks?
We'll keep in storage to use again.
Pom-poms. Beads.
Beads.
Next one is a 5-star. It says Unexcito. Los zapatos son todo un éxito.
Shoes,
Los
socks.
zapatos son de un material sensible. Por lo que se recomienda utilizaros.
It's a sensible shirt.
Un suelo liso además es.
Okay, no, that's not fair.
Okay.
Read the next one.
The next one was
No.
the next one's a 2-star. Says the photo is misleading, and the seller packaged these such that they arrived smashed. They were totally flattened and wrinkled and looked terrible.
Shirts.
Bread.
Shirts?
It would have been better to send them in a box, not an envelope.
Well, that's anything.
I'm going to use a key. You're going to use a keyword in the next one. I could get my feet in
It's
wearing
shoes.
small sneakers.
It's socks. I was right. It was socks.
Not bulky running shoes, but I am a women's size 8. I think anyone with bigger feet would have a hard time getting these on. But you don't wear them.
They're
without
like
shoes.
the treads you put on running shoes.
You're getting
Oh.
warmer.
Ow.
Cross country skis.
Here's the next one. They are extremely
Extremely?
funny. Wow, they are so cool. I love them. I am going to ask my mom if I can buy them. Here's another key one. They do not fit over shoes and are too thin and flimsy to wear with only socks.
Are they
boots?
No, are they like snowshoes or weird?
But they are extremely funny.
I don't know. That's a clue? Is that a
They're
clue?
like leggings or
Extremely?
novelty socks.
I think you meant it. You're getting pretty close.
Leggings?
No.
Like
I bought this for my
weird
7-year-old
strap-on
daughter.
ice skates?
Wait,
I don't know.
I
Weird,
bought this for
weird
my
strap-on
7-year-old.
rollerblades. Weird strap-on roller skates.
This is a very key one right here.
Heelys.
I
Stupid
bought
Heelys.
this for my 7-year-old daughter's costume for Halloween. She loves them. Very cute and great quality.
Oh God, they're some
They could
sort
be
of
anything.
novelty.
I don't know. Do another one. I want one more.
All right, no. Okay, why don't you just say what it starts with? Like, what's the first letter?
No,
C.
C. Oh, clogs.
No.
Oh, that was a good guess. sir.
Claws.
What?
On your feet.
That was a bad guess, sir.
Carrots.
I wasn't able to wear these blank shoes that look
Cocksucker.
This might be a little too vague.
Clown.
Yes.
I'm the best.
You are. You win. Wow.
Yes, they are jumbo clown shoes.
I hate you. Sir. Wow, that was good.
Yeah, all right.
I like that. That's a good quiz time. That you should do that again sometime.
I should, but I need to find a product that's a little bit easier to come up with an answer for.
Oh, that was awesome.
Okay. Before we go, we somebody put on here that we had our first iTunes review since 2011.
We had a big moment this week, people. It is our first iTunes review since the year 2011.
We're relevant again.
It was a 5-star. They said, down to earth and humorous hosts, enjoyable discussion on a variety of games by Royale Wit Cheese. It's a wit. So, Royale Wit Cheese. He says, I reset my forgotten password and logged into iTunes for the first time in years just to give this podcast 5 stars. That's how good it is.
Well, thank you, Royale Wit Cheese.
I love him or her. I don't know.
It's probably him.
Probably him, but
I
I
don't
love him.
But, yeah, let's get the fuck out of here. That's... What?
I have stuff to do.
Yeah, you have stuff to do.
Download anything yet?
I don't know yet. I gotta go look. It's to the night of the alpha thing with EQ next landmark. So
Let's let you go do that. And so with that, that's all we have for this week. Tune in next time where we'll sit down with People Magazine's Sexiest Man Alive from 1999, Richard Gere, to find out just how the fuck he pulled that off.
Ooh.
he's sexy.
You know what? I heard though that the whole gerbil thing was a Scientology scam.
I'm sure.
It's a whitewash, people.
I don't care. He's fucking sexy.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna ask him next week.
Yep.
I'm excited.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
Well, gentlemen, no point in hanging around this dump any longer.
Wait! Where are you going? I was gonna make espresso. Show's over, folks. You can't go. All the plants are gonna die. Take off, eh?
Thanks for listening to Multiplaying, the companion podcast at multiplaying.net. Questions, comments, feedback, errors, etc. can be sent to multiplaying@gmail.com. We invite you to write a review on iTunes and visit our website at www.multiplaying.net.
We've made a lot of friends, shared a lot of laughs, often at the expense of others.
I think some people are going to be upset.
Let me just close this conversation by saying you are one unique individual.
Thank you and good night.